Do you hear it? You actually might not. Oh, I found my smile again because I'm podcasting. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. Hi, guys. It's me, Rebecca. This is Classroom Crush. And coming to you live from my apartment. Green wall. I have a green wall. I painted my wall green. Sometimes you have to bring outside inside, okay? Highly recommend it if you can do such a thing. Highly recommend asserting your dominance over your space as in painting your walls. Remember what Amy Sedaris said in that one interview? She said, you're not getting your security deposit back anyways. Go for it. Some of the sagest advice that you could even get in this world. Like I said, rest in peace, D'Angelo. Rest in peace, Saleh Al-Jafari. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I think I probably am not. You know, I actually looked up his name. This is a Palestinian journalist who was killed days after this supposed ceasefire, which we know is not real. And you guys are like, what is this? And I'm saying the podcast is also current events. You can hold space for pain and joy, and that's the point. That's all we can do. You know, I tried to look up like a video. I'm like, let me try to figure out how to actually say his name. And you'd be fucking surprised. Would you be so surprised to find out that if I try to just look up this guy's name and just like a report that there does not exist, like, as you know, at least on the first Google page, someone being like, this Palestinian journal, you know, doing reporting upon this. Anyways, it's fucked up. So, and I just want to say up top, this podcast is not going to be perfect. I'm not gonna be perfect. I'm gonna be, who knows what I'm gonna do or say next, but I'm gonna say it because if not, then who else? Probably other people, but me too. So I'll say rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to all the martyrs. Rest in peace to everyone who has died in this horrible time. And now we have to talk about life because with death there is life. That's the only choice. So here we are. We're talking about childhood crushes. That's the beginning. It's the beginning of your life. Remember the beginning of your life when you wanted to be in love? That's what this podcast is about, among other things. I'm so excited to have my friend, really simply one of the coolest, actually nicest people I know in the world, I would say, on the podcast. He's a podcaster. He's a writer, director, artiste, what a multi-hyphenate. He's also just, literally nice. Sometimes when I'm like, people are not nice, people who are just kind of like even indifferent and just kind of like, oh, hi. I'm like, but you could be nice. Like my friend. I wanted to make them one. My friend, Ray Tintori. Welcome to the podcast, Ray Tintori. I got to get that sound effect on my board.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I'm so excited to be here. I'm such a huge fan of yours. Just like starting with, I re-listened to that Beetlejuice episode of Blank Check. Oh, my God. Like so many times.
That is, wow. Listen.
Just like, yeah.
That is, I think, is that why you know that I exist?
Absolutely, yeah. I listened to that so many times.
Awesome.
And then got into Jacking Off and Classroom Crush, and then have just enjoyed. You helped me so much with the screenplay for the feature that I'm working on right now.
What an honor!
Just an incredible experience working. Yeah, what an honor for me, and just such a huge fan, and just so glad that this show is back, and just so honored to be a guest. Yeah, thank you.
So it's so crazy to me. I mean, and we have to give it up to Griffin and David of Blank Check for allowing this connection to ever exist, because it's so crazy and random, and I love it because I think you rock, and anyone who I think rocks is even a little bit a fan of me. It's like, wow, I can do anything. The wind is beneath my wings. Anyways, I'm so excited. You are, I think, very prepared for this podcast, it seems. You've done research, and there's nothing I love more than research. But I want to start with just like, okay, let's do the W's, the who, what, where, when, why, and then the how. There's an H in there on you growing up, and we're going to the high school period, correct? Right?
Correct.
But even before high school, just what kind of kid are you pre-high school, and who are you becoming when we meet you where we go?
I think, okay.
And where
As a
are
kid,
we? We're in New York City, right?
Born in Manhattan, grew up in Crown Heights across the street from the Brooklyn Museum. There's like a big red Tudor-style apartment building.
He's a city boy.
Very much so.
Oh, yeah.
City boy. But then also, my family, like my mom was a script supervisor on like low-budget movies. My dad was an editor on low-budget movies, so we would move around. We had kind of like almost like an army family.
But in the artist, and that's the better army, that's the best case scenario. What if army brat, but arty brat?
Exactly. It was exactly like we moved to Death Valley for a movie shoot. We moved to London. We lived in LA on like Citrus.
Did you thrive on that, or was it ever like unstable feeling, or was it mostly like this is fun?
I think it was fun, and the repercussions of it are long lasting.
Totally.
But it was really fun,
and we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. So. What kind of kid are you then? Are you shy? Are you class clown? Are you your own unique combination of elements?
I think totally kind of head in the clouds, drawing, playing, like very much in my imagination, sometimes with other people.
He's a dreamer.
A dreamer.
What are you drawing? For me, I'm drawing trees, which is coming back around. Trees' eyes, of course. Did you ever draw veins? Your veins? I always did that. I drew the
draw on my hands or on my arm.
Yeah, like the outline of your veins. Okay, just me.
I have done that. No,
okay,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's one of the classics to me. So what are you drawing?
Absolutely.
What are the doodles?
It's monster characters I came up with. Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters,
totally.
Back to the Future.
Yes.
All that kind of stuff. Yeah. Who
Love
Framed
it.
Roger Rabbit.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got stars in his eyes, his head's in the clouds, and music playing in his ears. That's who I picture you as. Socially, what's your friend situation like going into high school? Is this a good place to start? I want to set the stage for your story.
Oh yeah. So we had like stopped moving all over the place at a certain point. So like by middle school, it had kind of mellowed out. I went to 2 private middle schools. I went to Brooklyn Friends for 2 years and was just like becoming a bad kid, basically. It was like, or at least in the eyes of all adults, it was like
bad kid. Like how? What's he doing? Smoking weed?
For sure, but also just hanging out with kids with bad attitudes and like chain wallets and
bad attitudes and chain wallets.
Totally. Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
mean streets of Manhattan. This is Brooklyn. Brooklyn Friends.
I'll tell you, it's that courthourse that's by Borough Hall.
Yeah.
Know it.
Yeah.
There's still kids hanging out there skateboarding right now.
Oh, so
that was us.
So you're just talking about cool kids. Just
absolutely.
Cool kids.
Oh yeah.
That rich, uptight parents were like, these are dirty scoundrels. Or how?
Long story short, it was like I was having an experience in private, like Brooklyn Heights schools where I was just by being myself was one of the bad kids, and so I went to Laguardia High School, which is a public school,
right?
Filled with kids like that, basically.
How long were you at that school for? Like 1 year?
I was at Brooklyn Friends for 2 years, and then it got too bad, and I had to go to Packer for 1 year, and then I had to leave. It was like
they're like, he doesn't
so it was very
belong
much
here.
Public school was much better than the
yeah.
It fit much better, even though it was insane.
They're like, he's a dreamer. Get him out of here. he's gonna be a bad influence on our kids who are meant to grow up to be dentists and real estate agents and businessmen. Is that? Do you feel fair categorization?
I just feel at some of those schools, some of those kids were really just on a track already, and they were mainstream, and just to be,
Preps.
It was such a great time to be alt. You know,
Totally.
It was like 1997. Like,
yes.
So just to be interested in that culture at all,
you are in many ways even creating alt. You are in the new era of alt. What alt would come to mean. You are in the hotbed of the creation of it. You're a part of it. Do you understand? Do you agree?
I think everyone was wrestling over what it meant at the time so much that it does feel like that.
And then by default they made it. They did it. They
it happened.
It. Yeah. They're like, we're not this. We're not alt. We're not. They fight it, and then the friction and the kinetic energy creates this alt energy. I'm obsessed. That's incredible. So you go to LaGuardia and you're like, finally, these are gonna be my people.
Absolutely. I think instantly that school was just so big, and everyone there knew how to vent the energy, their interior life energy out in some way. So no one was a completely closed, just like
people
bomb.
were expressing. They weren't about to do, frankly, a shooting. They were going to express. That sounds harsh to say, but it's true.
Yeah, I think that was instantly the feeling when I got there. It was like, wow, I really can be connected to all these people.
Yeah.
As I'm going through this like psycho experience that is just, American high school.
Totally. And so LaGuardia, do you have to go in, like, are you in like a strand, like a major, or, because it's like an arts high school, right? So like, what was your specific thing?
I did visual art. So it's like sculpture and painting and drawing.
Of course.
You have to take a test. So everyone, you're like,
you got in.
Take the drama test, or I want to take the the oboe test. And
so cool. Yeah. My arts high school was also like, you had to do a portfolio and a sketchbook and then go and do, like, I did not fucking draw. I just wanted to make movies, but you had to do all that shit to get in. So I like took classes at my local art store, or like literally like the art store around the corner from me, to try to get in when I realized I have to pivot from dance to not dance because my knees are crunching already and I'm 15.
Wow.
So sick. So awesome experience of my everyday life. But I know it's the sort of thing where I'm like, but I know I got in with the interview. I know I got in with the interview with the person where I was like, like those teachers fucking, they were all like, she's like an old soul. We love Rebecca. It was a fucking shoo-in. I was like, easy, these suckers. I'm like, no, I can't draw. No, I can't paint, but I can talk.
That's genius.
Yeah.
No, the visual arts department at LaGuardia was, I do feel like there was it was kind of just a safe place for introspective New York kids.
Totally.
To go to high school.
And they need a safe space. Yeah. That's the point.
Yeah.
They will not become violent if you give them a safe space.
Yeah, or get wailed on by other stronger kids at their school, Right,
yeah. Okay, so you get in, and do you like instantly find your friend group? Like, who are they? What are the elements of your friend group? Who are you how are you like self-identifying at this point, like in the dynamics there, How
am I self-identifying?
Like,
I mean, like,
you're just like, I just am myself, but like within a group, you have a group. You're starting to be,
Well, I had some friends from junior high school that also were going there.
Love it.
So like my best friend since second grade, Dan Rummer, amazing composer.
Right.
So
sick.
We were both doing the transition from Packer to LaGuardia at the same time.
Okay, so you weren't completely alone.
We both lived on the same street in Brooklyn and took the train in together. So it was very much like me and Dan are going to high school together, and that was very exciting.
That's huge, and
cool.
You're like a package deal. You don't have to ever be alone. You don't have to.
Especially after school. Yeah, it was nice. Like on the first day after school to just have a person to find. Yeah, grateful. Oh my God,
that's so
grateful.
That's so exciting. What was your dynamic like as a pair? So when you guys enter LaGuardia and you're walking down the halls, people are like, "Oh, who are those boys? Na 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 na. Who are those boys?"
I mean, we're both just trying to dress and look exactly like Kurt Cobain. So it's like whatever. It's like two different bodies trying to achieve the same endpoint.
Awesome. I bet that works for a lot of people. At LaGuardia, they were like, "Who are those? Are those two fucking Kurt Cobains? What the hell?"
People were often like, "Is that Hanson on the subway?" That was.
Hey, not bad either. Yeah. Not bad either. Okay, so at this point in your life, are you like, so you're like what, 16, 17?
Oh, I think a lot younger. I think 15? You're like 12 when you start, like when you, like freshman year of high school?
Freshman year of high school, you're like 13, 14.
I graduated when I was 17, so whatever it's 4 years.
So you're a little bit young. Okay.
Maybe I'm 13? 13?
Yeah, okay.
Or no, I'm 12. I think I would have to be 12, right?
12 in high school? What are you, a genius? No, I mean, I guess if your birthday
my birthday is in late October, so I was always super young in my class. So I think
Okay.
Is that possible?
I think you're like turning, I thought I was like turning 15 freshman year and then 16 sophomore year. I could be wrong. I don't know math. Are you doing math?
17 in the spring of 2001. Then I have to be.
You go off with that. Listen, I'm against the robots, but calculators, they're here to stay. They're here to stay.
I don't know. I think we're a little kid. I mean,
listen, we're little. You're
really
young.
Little kids.
You're not like a child in high school, but you're a preteen when you enter high school. You're preteen. You're like 13.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you're 13, but if you were younger, maybe you're 12. But crazy. I don't know. Anybody listen, how do the Europeans even do it? Like, does that even matter? Anyways, but as a child, as a person, are you like, all right, it's time to get a girlfriend? What's your level of interest in romance at this point in your life?
Oh, very heavy. Like,
okay.
Yeah. I definitely. There was a girl who went to Packer who also went to LaGuardia that I had a huge crush on. So very much went in with like someone at the school that I was super excited like to pursue in this new venue. We were like bad kids. Like she wasn't allowed to go on the Washington D.C. trip.
Ooh.
I know, it was like ultimate punishment. But like she was going to be in the drama department at LaGuardia, and so I feel like that's definitely, I went into freshman year being like, oh, this is exciting that I have a crush.
Yeah, already
at this school. Yeah, for sure.
And were you like, I'm gonna show her the real me now, and she's gonna really understand what. And had you had like many crushes before? Had you ever really pursued crushes before, or was this like really the stage now?
No, I think I had a bunch of crushes, and I think like honestly, it had as close to like a relationship in first grade. Like I had like a girl that we just hung out with like all the time, every day, and we were basically just
so he's a girlfriend boy,
a little unit,
Yeah. Okay. So you're ready to get wifed up. Okay. Is this girl the one that we're going to talk about, or is there another girl? Okay. Drama. Okay. So at some point you're going to drop this bitch. No. I'm just kidding. Okay. So where does our crush begin? Who is she? Give me her top characteristics. What's drawing you to her? What's the stage?
From Manhattan, really cool, great writer, actor, and extremely mature, like seeming like 7 years older,
yes,
than we were, and like came from like lived in Tribeca in an apartment that her parents had moved into in the 70s. That was like half her mom's painting studio.
Right.
You know, amazing paintings that I still like will be in a museum and just like turn a corner, I'll see one of the paintings.
Wow. This
that
is
she
real
was
New
working on
York.
at the time. You know, like
Yeah.
totally like one of those things where it's like Tribeca and the elevators open
Wow.
into
Like
the
in Gossip
loft
Girl.
apartment.
That's
Absolutely.
I'm like, this is like in Gossip Girl. My experience, Gossip Girl.
But just like owned like all
Yeah.
of that. Just was like basically wore that so effortlessly. That
Totally.
whole art world and all that stuff.
Let's give her a fake name. What's our fake name for her? I can come up with one, and then it's Teresa.
Teresa, I love it.
I don't know why. It was top of mind. Okay, so Teresa.
That's a great name. Yeah.
Are you trying to flirt with her? What's the vibes? Or you're just like you're just in your feelings about it, or are you trying to, you know, take action?
No, I think everyone was flirting with everyone. It was so active. It was so busy. So I think there was a lot of flirting.
Great.
Like early on. Yeah.
So you guys both arrived to LaGuardia. Your new lives have begun. Do things start to change? What happens? Tell me.
I mean, it basically, it all culminated in basically everyone was flirting with everyone, and it all culminated in a Halloween where I think everyone got drunk for the first time, really, you know? And we're all.
Yes. Okay. Wow.
So I think I had just turned 13, you know, and
you're like, time to be extra bad. It's spooky.
With us all in Union Square, just like,
of course,
in a like full cuddle puddle, like, everyone just making out with everyone, and just like passerbys just being like, what is
okay, slow down. Okay.
Everyone made out with everyone. It was and I have a friend who manages the Walter Reed Theater, which is right by LaGuardia. Mm-hmm. And he's always like, it's the first week of school. These freshman LaGuardia kids are ready to tear
horny
like, the car. They are going.
Do you feel that you were the
generation at their peak was not as exciting or as transgressive? Like,
yeah.
It rode this wave, and then it culminated in the kind of like the Halloween blowout, basically.
So leading up to Halloween, do you feel like you know that shit's going down? Like,
yeah, because my birthday is the day before Halloween.
Oh, okay. So what's the plan of the week?
The plan of the week was just to party like crazy, but I know that like the day before there had just been like such an outpouring. Everyone was so in love with each other that just like all of the gifts I got and all the attention I got on my birthday just made me feel like everyone was about to make out with me, which was like about.
I was gonna say everyone wants to have sex. You're all children. No. Do you? Okay. I have to ask you a question. No. What? Say it.
It was so exciting to suddenly, you know, if you live in Brooklyn, to suddenly be like, every day you're gonna take the train for like an hour and 15 minutes to like Lincoln Center, and then you're basically just on your own with all the other kids who know how to explain how exciting it is to be alive to each other.
Right.
You know, and just the like, we don't have cell phones. Like, we are totally there's no one has beepers or pagers.
You're
We're
alive
so unaccountable.
in the moment. You're present, looking into each other's eyes.
It was such a rush, you know, and it was unsustainable, and it.
How big was the group, would you say? I want to like picture the players.
This is an 8-person group.
Wow. Almost. I need to know the boy, girl, and sexual orientation ratio.
This is 3 boys, 5 girls.
Wow.
The girls are bi. I think all the girls were bi.
Right.
And they're all making out with each other. And I don't think any of the boys made out with each other.
Classic story. 3 boys, 5 girls, you said?
Yeah.
That is so potentially ripe for drama. And now
it was the end. Yeah, it was like that group stopped hanging out.
That was the end. The sexual party.
We all went our separate ways.
Okay, so all the girls are bi, and do you have a crush on all of them? Like none of them, all of them in a different time. Like what's your dynamic with the girls? Or do you have a crush on any of the guys? But they didn't make out. No one.
I had a super huge crush on 2 of the girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was different about your crushes with them, and what was different about them as girls?
They were all in the drama department, and they're all Manhattan, just like extremely expressive Manhattan drama kids. They were doing stuff like you'd go over and you could watch like Pink Flamingos at their house, and their parents would be like fine with you just watching Pink Flamingos as children. Or one of them had their scene that they prepared to get into, the drama department was about being a pregnant teenager. So they like at dinner one night told their parents that they were pregnant, just to know, like to be method about, know what it felt like.
Wow.
And it was like
committed. She's committed. She's an artist. Okay.
Yeah. They were so confident about just taking these big swings.
Right.
And just like enjoying everything that was so fun about being an adult in New York in the 90s, even though we were children,
Right.
At this point, my laptop turns off because it feels like it. And we restart on my phone.
Third time's a charm. What was I? Okay. Now we're on phones. Okay. This is like the world that we're being dealt right now, right? We're being issued so many challenges.
You don't feel like God is trying to stop this conversation from happening?
God doesn't want 2 powerful creatives to come together on such a thing as a podcast. God, who is scared of their creation, like as Steve Buscemi said in Spy Kids 2, Lost Island, Island of Lost Dreams, one of those. Do you think that God is afraid of what He's created, and that's why He never comes down to his creatures or something like that? Steve Buscemi, that's a real quote from Steve Buscemi in Spy Kids 2. I think that the powers that be, they want the Theo Vons and et cetera to be leading the podcast conversation. They don't want this 2 powerful artistic people who have also had horny past to get together in such a way. It's too dangerous. We have too many secrets about radical love and its ability to change for them to want to platform us. Do you agree?
I agree.
The parties at Union Square, you don't remember what you're wearing. Do you remember what they were wearing?
No. I just remember, I think some people had Halloween costumes on, and I just know that it was basically, we all met up with some kids from other schools. Like that was a big thing. Like at the end of a Friday, you'd meet up with kids from Stuyvesant, kids from Bronx Science would come down. Like we'd often meet up in Central Park and kind of like make our way down through like Times Square. This is like peak like TRL Times Square, so you could always like walk past, and they were like actually filming. You see like Carson Daly in the window, kind of stuff. And yeah, so I guess we had
an exciting time to be a youth in New York.
Yeah, it was great. It was, class of 2001. So it was really that last chunk of the 90s and all that Y2K, and then things mania.
Would go different. Yeah. And then things happened, and then things went down a little crazy different way.
It was funny because everyone was anticipating so much, like a big something happening, but they just didn't know what.
They didn't know what but there would be one, and then a lot more. Then a lot more stuff is going to happen from 2001 till now.
Totally.
That's funny. You felt it in the air, though. You felt it in the air. Do you think that was part of the horniness? Do you think do you think there was an existential? Maybe not yet, but maybe do you think there was something simmering in the air that was?
Oh yeah, because
overall horniness.
New York City kids, so we're so into like thinking about death and like anything existential, anything kind of morbid or
you're like, I could die tomorrow. We got to make out tonight.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because that idea would come back around. I'm thinking out loud right here. It's not a fully formed thought, but it feels like that idea, that energy will come back around in like early, like 2009, 8-ish, like pop, like tonight we'll do everything tonight, like we're gonna die, so let us live it up tonight, but now it's a party. Now it's like bum, 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 like you're gonna die, so you better go to this rave,
Yeah.
I feel like it was a different type that you're talking about. I feel like the rebrand was intentional and bad. They want us to party through it. They're like, yeah, you might die. Have a party, get drunk. Don't think about it.
Totally.
Do you agree with my thoughts?
Absolutely agree. And it was, the stuff we're getting into like Will Oldham music, which is so like I See a Darkness, Death to Everyone. It was all this just kind of like, and reading like Herman Hesse books, and like Jack Kerouac books, and just getting really into.
You guys are too deep.
Getting so deep. We're just like loved the rush of going deep. As a young kid, you just like kind of touch that, and you're like,
totally.
Wow, it feels incredible. I don't quite understand what anyone is talking about, but
But everything's heightened. Everything's on 11.
Yeah.
Did you go into the night knowing I'm about to kiss some of these girls?
I think the mentality that I had going into that night was like, I'm crushing so hard on both these girls. We're spending more and more time together. I'm spending more time living in their world in Manhattan. They're best friends,
of course, they of the group, they two are specifically best friends.
Yeah, at this moment in time. Yeah.
Classic.
And that all just kind of building, me not really knowing what to do with it. Culminating into this, like us walking from Central Park to Union Square, all sharing a bottle of tequila, which is just like, had never drank, like just straight.
I want to do that right now, brother. On these fall days. Oh, that sounds good.
It felt great. And everyone's taking photos of each other, and we're just the coolest people in the world, and everyone just basically professing, lifelong, just like, you don't know how much. I think it was just basically everyone talking to each other just about how much everyone loved each other, and then just like everyone starting to, then when someone started, it's
know
like
you when I die.
Exactly. Like basically, I think that was the build of the, I feel like it was either the conversation I was in was getting very, very intense, and I looked over and there was like two different groups of our friends making out, and I think the conversation I was in then segued to
and then
that.
You're like, well,
yeah, it was like that. I do remember people like stopping and being like, hey, like,
what are you guys like in a band?
What's going on? just like, not like concerned citizens, but just like New Yorkers being like, just want to check in,
Yeah, like, we're good, baby. We're rocking and rolling,
basically,
man. Life is for living, man. Get out there and live. Don't you know it's all going to end one day? I'm kind of going more California. I'm going to LA with it, but yeah.
It was like kind of like the world drops. Clearly, it's like the world is dropped away because you're in the middle of Union Square and you're having like a formative puberty experience in front of everyone.
Wow. It's true.
So it's
true.
Like, I do think it's a good representation of a lot of what it was like to be an adolescent in the city. It was just like, these are moments that like you have to go through, like, but they're happening here, which is odd.
Yeah.
Like
out loud and in front of everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a part. And it is like, part of me is like, that was really gritty, that was like an intense.
Yeah.
I also would say like a huge context here is that movie Kids, the Larry Clark movie, was like the lookbook for every party that we had in high school. Like everyone just took the directive. I don't know what they were doing 8 years earlier, but it was like every party we went to was like, we're doing everything that they did in that, like it's going to be.
We are kids.
Yeah. And it's like, it's an open house. It's probably someone who's like, parents are like a important modern painter, and
right.
like it's an open house and everyone's just going nuts, and
yeah.
So it was gritty. Yeah. And it was like, that is embarrassing that happened. It's embarrassing to talk about it right now, but it's definitely what happened,
There's multiple ways you can take this. Is it embarrassing or is it a uniquely, New York experience, uniquely, like it just ain't gonna get like that. Because you know what? People aren't doing that anymore because of phones. I'll say it, these damn phones. Like, they're not being feral in Union Square like they used to be because of threats of being recorded for life. And that being out there, these kids can't be so free. So you can't be embarrassed. You have to take that and embrace it and accept it. But I want to know how. Okay, so you make out. Oh my God, it's incredible. Is there like, are you immediately like, oh my God, I'm the man, or like, how is that feeling in your body immediately to have finally made out with your crush?
I think it was also a confusing experience because, it's just, this is early to go into I think she was making out with so many other people even before we made out.
This fucking cat, it's the cat and the laptop are what are not going to allow me to record my podcast in my lovely home. He's trying to do destruction. Get down. So she had already made out with the other guy that night?
For sure, yeah. No, it was a whole, like I said, there was a lot of different stories going on at once.
How did that one feel when it happened / after it happened?
Well, it was just my friend who had known for longer, so
less confusing.
No, just confusing in that it was all, it was just, these were the feelings that I had at the time, and it was all coming to this culmination in a way that there was no like playbook that I had where it's like, this is going to happen. As I was crushing. So we were in completely uncharted territory where like a bunch of things were happening. Like on paper, totally wanted, but it was like, is this all happening? And a lot of stuff I remember like a relationship that I had in high school. At the end of it, the girl was just like, I think we did everything completely out of order,
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a big theme of just like, because there was these rare windows where suddenly all this possibility opened up and everyone knew it, but that just often meant like this is not the way to start even like a high school relationship, Well,
I think do you think that, cause I feel like a similar thing happened with me growing up where it's just like, oh yeah, the sexual thing happens first. And then, at least personally for me, that totally fucked with my trajectory going forward. Do you feel like that imprinted itself in the way that you like understood dating when you like were entering college or when you started dating when you were older? Because for me, I'm like, I feel like we're very like hookup culture thing where I'm like, now after being in bad relationship, I'm like, what if maybe I go on a date with someone, don't even have sex with them?
Yeah.
Imagine that. Oh
yeah.
Go from there, see if I like you.
Yeah, right on.
Did that follow you, or did you course correct? Did you do the opposite?
I think because it was like a kind of gutting thing to hear as like a 14-year-old, of like someone being like, I think we both like each other, but that was insane that we like started hooking up first and then tried to hang out and then honestly it was like hooked up first, then tried to hang out with all her friends first, and then at the very tail end of it tried to hang out with just each other,
Right.
And she was like, that was totally the wrong way to fall in love. But
she was one of the girls, or she's a different girl?
This is later. Yeah, this is honestly, we've gotten completely like into the weeds on a 13-year-old thing, but what I had prepped was more the tail end of high school.
Was this okay? Well, wait. I want to talk about this.
No complaints.
So
I'm just information. Yeah.
No, good. So this set the stage then for your next relation. This was the precursor for this next crush. This is what like established you as a sexually active-ish person. That
was the intro to dating at LaGuardia for sure. That was the
wow.
That was the like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next that like combusts then that group. And are you like, okay, no more friend group dating. Now I'm zeroing in. Like, what's your status as you're approaching this next crush?
Well, I had a big crush that. Okay. So sophomore year, like, got into a relationship with a dance major, super cool dance major.
Cool.
But this is the one who I would say like we did everything, or she said and I agree. We did everything backwards.
Right.
And so that it was basically like I was dating her sophomore year, but I really had kind of growing feelings for a friend of mine, basically.
Okay.
Who I then started dating the summer between sophomore and junior year. That's okay. Those are the timelines, which is like.
So we're usually juggling two.
I mean, no.
This is the pattern now. There's one and then there's another. No.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, no. That's
two
funny.
times as a pattern. That's what I've decided.
That's funny. Yeah. No,
okay.
Yeah, it was like, but yeah.
But so that other crush on your friend grew as you were in that relationship.
Yeah, and it was like basically like the relationship sophomore year was someone was like this person has a crush on you, and it was like a person who the second I heard they had a crush on me, I was like that person has a crush on me. That's insane.
Why was that the reaction? Was she just like the fucking coolest girl in school or what?
She was really cool. She was a dance major, so she was like a modern dancer and like a really experiment. Like when she would do her own choreography, like she could do ballet and all that stuff, but when she did her own choreography, it was always so radical. Like she would bring in like butcher paper, and she'd be like ripping up butcher paper and like screaming. And
I mean, a modern dance girly has to grow after my own heart. Yeah, obviously.
Totally. Yeah.
I always think modern dance is for the girlies who love to dance, but they're angry. They're angry. Like, that's what I realized. I used to love jazz. And then once I started doing modern, I was like, oh, no, I'm angry. I need this one. Actually, it's like, that's where the deeply feeling girlies go.
Yeah.
So you were just like, you had no idea that she would have a crush on you. Like it was
definitely not. No. And she really looked like she looked so mature for her age. She was like just such a striking, like just such a striking, cool dancer. And she was like, she was royal. She was the royalty in Lithuania. She was a duchess in Lithuania.
What? Okay, and now it's Princess Diaries? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, and she lived in Washington Heights, and she was like Lithuanian royalty. She was really cool. It was really like.
Were
one
you
of those,
friends?
Like, that was the thing. Not really. It was more like I think I'd had a class with her, and she had like gotten a crush on me in a class, basically, like in an English class or something. She had her own
projections about you, I'm sure.
Totally.
She was like. So you find this out sophomore year, and you're like, okay, now I have to change. I have to do something about this.
Yeah. It was like her friend was like, I remember her friend was like.
It was a community effort. This is another theme.
Yeah, me and Dan Romer and her friend all stayed over at her friend's house, and we hooked up.
As like
that was like our first date was just like immediately going into like hooking up, staying over at a friend's house in Manhattan. Yeah. Of
course. Well, because you did it before, and that was fun to hook up.
And we were horny for each other. It was immediately like it's like
yeah.
It did feel like first things first. Like we have to kiss, But
isn't there something about that that's true? Because sometimes you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that. It was just like, I think the big memory I have is like going with all her friends to see a preview screening of She's All That. And and I was really just, and that was
not just a screening, the preview screening of She's All That.
Well, they wanted to get the
Really
word out
does
among
it.
the teens that it was a good movie.
You gotta.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Okay, so you went out with her friends.
Yeah.
To that. You were the only boy?
No, there was other boys, but they were like more like drama boys.
Right.
And yeah, it was just like, I do think it was like, that was when it was like, oh, we have nothing in common. Like, she's really, really cool.
That's when you realized.
But like her art world does not like bleed into her like personal, like.
This is what's interesting about dancers is that like they're often like, I feel like at least in Miami, you could see someone on stage move in a way that you're like, this person has a deep soul and like do this choreography that's like intense. And then you like talk to them and they're like, hey, what's up? And then they're just like a girl. Not always, but like a lot of the time, yes. And you're kind of trying to access that person when that just might not be her yet,
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's in there, maybe, she's got something. So
if I had been deeper, I'm sure, like it's also just, I had such limited abilities to connect with people at that point that,
you were the problem. You weren't deep.
100% I wasn't deep. Yeah. I loved the experience of touching something deep and feeling its power move through me. But I could not have been more superficial for sure.
Do you think you hadn't struggled enough yet? You're like, I hear the sad song, but it doesn't reflect my experience. Or you're just a young boy.
I'm just trying to I was thinking about this before. It was like a good example is like, I remember New Year's Eve, Y2K, like me and all my friends were on a roof in Manhattan that we had totally secured for ourselves. And like when when it struck, like there's no fireworks. Like it's just like, because we're in a totally different part of the city. I would just like to underline, we just don't understand how anything works, So it's like, we're just like, we're on the roof. The sky is going to fill up with fireworks like right above us. And so that was our experience of being like, it's like, we're on 13th Street. Like it's up in Times Square. So
it's, you're up high, but not that high. Can't see below.
There's just a lot of like, yes, you can get a rooftop all to yourself and use things you can do, but you also just don't understand like how anything works,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's so fun. I mean, I guess that's also just dating in high school, like at the same time, you're like in a way doing some of the elements of it, but what does it ultimately mean? I can't believe that is so funny. You're like where is it? Just looking out at nothing. And that's a lesson. That
was the beginning of the millennium.
Look for the fireworks. And maybe the fireworks are inside. Okay. You ever think about that?
Oh yeah.
So when you're starting to hang out with the friends, you're kind of like, this is probably not actually a vibe. How does the relationship with Dancer Girl resolve itself? How long does it go on? Are you considering each other like boyfriend, girlfriend, or you're just like, we're hooking out?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you feel to be a boyfriend though? Did you like that title? Did you like that feeling?
Oh yeah.
Or was it
pressure?
For
sure. It was so cool. She was so cool. And I just we just never hung out in a way that was easy for us to figure out what we had in common. It was always in a group of other people or a thing where we were it was never at my house or at her house. It was always hooking up at a third party.
In the third space.
Yeah. It was not, we never really
love.
connected. Yeah. I don't know. It was strange, but it lasted for a while. It was I do think it was that fall and that winter. Yeah. And petered out in the spring.
Okay, so it was a slow peter out rather than like and now this is over.
Yeah, there was no big climactic thing. There was just a thing of like, I just don't
think this.
Yeah, that's just not happening. We're just starting to like kind of ignore each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which is the way a lot of things end up going, is just dwindling interest. But you're starting to have a crush on your other friend.
Totally.
Around
big
when?
Time. Yeah. Well, that was like in the spring and in the winter. I remember I was just starting to hang out in the library a lot. Sounds so.
Gotta just hang out in the library.
There was a thing where you just realized at a certain point
kid.
that the library at LaGuardia, where you couldn't leave the building, was actually a zone where you could just lock this room in the back and everyone could just hang out, and it was a kind of breakfast club. There was a couple of zones. There was a sculpture room where you could do anything you wanted, and there was this one room in the library where you could do anything you wanted. So it's like hanging out there a lot at lunch.
Yeah.
And then there was this girl.
And you're like, my life is a movie. It's true.
Oh yeah, there was. I mean, there was stuff about that high school. Like there was. This does not sound real, but it 100,000,000% saw this with my eyes and went up it. There was a locker where you would open the top locker and the bottom locker, and there was no shelf in between. There was just a ladder in the two lockers stacked on top of each other. And the ladder went up to a hole in the ceiling, and there was a secret room that you could hang out.
Stop.
It was like so superb.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
All we had was girls doing model practice during, because one of our majors was fashion. So you have just like insecure girls doing model practice in the halls during lunch, stomping around in their heels. Everybody's insecure. It's like this is cool, kind of, but when you break it down, kind of actually not. And you have like the scariest senior girls telling these freshman girls like, okay, so can you try it again, but like maybe a little bit faster pace, like, but then we're all lining the hallways, sitting there during lunch, eating and watching. This is insane.
Wow.
Someone should have put an end to that. Where were the adults? These girls parading around in their little stilettos. These 14-year-old girls. This is creating traumas. I know it. Little micro traumas.
It's like self-organizing trauma, basically.
Horrible. Yeah. Just horrible, awful.
Was there like a coolest kid in your high school? Was there a sense of like, this is the S tier? This is the absolute
people.
Yeah.
I think it was always like whoever your seniors were. There were a couple people. Like there was this girl Azura, who she was like a fashion girl. I don't have to bleep her name because she's so cool. And I think she is still cool. And that's the thing that was fucked up. And I'm sure you had a similar scenario where it's like, the cool kids were people who were gorgeous and also incredibly talented.
Yeah.
And like deserved any success that came their way. You know, so you can barely even really resent them. Even like the people that you knew were rich or whatever and were automatically just had pretty privilege. There were a lot of beautiful people in my fucking high school.
Wow.
And I wasn't one of them. I think I'm pretty now, but it was, you know, this is something I've learned recently. I said, maybe I'm pretty. This is what I've learned in recent days. I said, what if I'm pretty? But in that, our school was like, we had multiple sets of hot twins. Like that shouldn't happen, you know, that shouldn't happen to your small school. But yeah, I think every strand had their different, like, hot, cool person. And yeah, they made it really hard to step out and be yourself. But I wanna hear about your friend. So how does it start itching in your mind? Like you're just spending more time together? Are you starting to do comparison in your mind of like, the way I hang out with her is so different than the way I hung out with this other girl? Or like, how are you around her? How's the dynamic?
I think it's basically, you know, it's the inverse of the other relationship. It's like the relationship starts with a lot of time spent in visual arts classes, like next to each other. Like we were both like listening to headphones, like listening to like Discman and drawing like either stuff from our imagination, or it was like a live model, like it was a nude, like middle-aged person there, and you're both just like drawing this person silently next to each other and like talking a little bit. There's a scene in that movie, Elephant, the Gus Van Sant movie, where they're in the dark room together in high school and they're flirting with each other, and it's like that was so the tone.
That was it.
Absolutely, just quiet, say a little thing, like back and forth.
Did you know that that's what was happening when it was happening? You know, or was it just like the friendship at that time, or were you feeling it as like, this is kind of a special little like connection I have?
Yeah, I think it was pretty magnetic, like pretty magnetic from the beginning. Yeah.
What was she like?
She was.
What's her name? What's our name for her?
Do you want to make a name for her?
Stella.
Della. I love Della.
Teresa, Stella, Ada.
Della's really cool. Really cool. Like visual artist, really into like fashion and would sew all of her own clothes. So was always just wearing one of a kind, completely fashion forward.
That's the coolest kind of girl.
Yeah.
Was she also what you would call expressive? Or was she more like, I'm an artist and I do my little thing over here?
She was like more understated, but stealth. Like if you would, like the way that she dressed and the choices that she made with her life were very confidently.
Right. It made you lean in.
Yeah.
It made you
like, absolutely. And she had like a voice kind of like the receptionist in Twin Peaks,
No way. I don't know you were loving that.
She had like a very unique voice and very like art, and was very into like her and all her friends were very into Madonna and kind of that whole like 80s downtown Madonna aesthetic, which like in the 90s I feel like all those girls could pull that off so well. That was kind of their template, and all those materials were still just exactly around. So it was just very like art Madonna, like really into Blondie,
so cool,
all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
she's the coolest girl in school.
Yeah, I thought she was the best. Yeah.
So did you feel like, now having been like a boyfriend and having had all this making out under your belt, did you feel like this was a crush that you could or were like actively pursuing? Like, I'm gonna try to flirt with her. Or was it just like a connection that you kind of fostered and kept growing until it culminated in whatever it culminated in?
I think it was this undeniable connection, but I do remember there was this one moment where I told her that I had broken up with, sorry, what was her name? We never came up for the dancer.
Oh, dancer girl. Dancer girly.
And she looked, and she just seemed, I think the thing that made me make the jump is that she just looked at me in a way that I felt like she was like seeing me in a way. And she was like, yeah, she never really seemed like your type. In this way that completely...
Wait, and the fact... Wait. And then wait. And she's all that is the one with the glasses and she takes it off, right? This is like that moment. She's like, yeah, I didn't necessarily think you guys were meant to be. Meanwhile, I've been sitting here this whole entire time with my glasses on.
It was a lot like that, yeah. Yeah.
That is literally, that's the girl I was always trying to be, or I thought I was, where I was like, none of these guys realize that I'm the one for them. I'm the friend that they've never just looked into, and I've been there the whole time,
Yeah, no, I do think there was. Sorry, I interrupted. What did you say?
No.
You go ahead,
That's just what that sounds like. That sounds like I love to hear a girl get that moment. To be like, yeah, didn't really see her for you.
It unlocked something. There was something so sexy just about someone seeing me. Like, I guess I had no idea who I was right for. I cannot overemphasize the amount of self-awareness and, just someone else seeing that I might even have a type, and then maybe she knew something about what I wanted or, was really surprising.
Being seen is the sexiest thing that can be, and it's like, it's weird because I think it's what we're all seeking. But if you're, especially at that age, like not even necessarily sure what you are and what there is to be seen.
Yeah.
Like, I guess was it just like a look or the way she said it? Like, how did it make you feel like understood? How did you know that she was right? Like, I don't know what it is, but she is right, and it is her.
I think I had been confused by that experience that I had just gone through, and her just kind of, there was like a little bit of a smile when she said it, and just her kind of like knowing more than me and being like, my like obstacle course I had just run was in some way kind of cute. And I do think there was like a crush that was like bleeding through in it. I don't know. It was a good moment. Yeah.
That's amazing. So what did you do with that information?
I think that was at the very, very end of the school year. And then we're like in different places all summer. And then like the week before school started, we were hanging out in the summer and hooked up for the first time.
So did you go into the hangout like with some anticipation, like some I would love to make out with her, or you have no expectation?
I think I did, honestly, at that point, because I was really excited to see her again. I hadn't seen her all summer, and it had been been like a whole super excited. It was like summer 1999. It was like rad. Yeah, I don't know. I had
all the best movies.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
All the movies, 1999.
Just walking to the multiplex, to go see like Eyes Wide Shut and Phantom Menace, like side by side, basically.
So, I think you have the best era of life that you can get at this point. You know, I mean, we'll see how things continue in our lifetimes. Probably bad, but then hopefully good again. The loudest fucking plane or something that do you hear it?
You know, I don't hear it, and I always ask my guests, do you hear the like freight train?
No, because this is one thing I will say about moving to LA. These LAPD helicopters, it is not a joke. The police state is alive and well. It's actually insane. It's actually insane that people walk around these streets like this is normal. Brother, it's not normal. Get this. I mean, it is for a white supremacist state. It is normal, but we shouldn't be okay with it. Anyways. Sorry, just had to go off on that for a second.
Yeah, right on.
Okay, so how was this hookup with Stella different than these other hookups? Was it? Did you feel like with actually knowing each other, with that feeling of being seen? Like, how did that manifest?
I think it's basically we were hanging out at my parents' house and we were smoking weed, and just it was late summer, and
late summer.
I think basically I just remember kind of just backwards walking into telling her just like how much I loved her, or just how much I thought she was just
you went L word first.
I don't know if I used that word, but I would say the summation of everything that I said was just this, like, I do think it's extremely different when you're around, and like just who you are is like incredibly unique, and just some backwards way of being like, I feel it wasn't a speech as much as it was just like we were talking and the subject veered towards, I think I started something I didn't exactly know how to end, but then she was just like, can we lie down, I know.
Can we lie down? That's a classic. Do you want to just lay down?
Especially at the end of a bunch of muddling. Yeah, I know it was like, I'm sure it was sweet, but it was not sequential.
Totally coherent.
Yeah.
But you felt brave enough to say it, or was it the weed?
I don't think weed has ever made me feel brave.
Okay, that's okay. Great. No, yeah, I've heard it has had opposite effects on people. For me, it makes me wild and free.
Yeah.
But it felt like something you had to get off your chest.
For sure. I think it was like I had a big, exciting summer, and I think I was just like kind of overcome by what it felt like to see her again after all that.
Wow. And then you did it, and then you kissed.
Yeah.
And it was incredible.
Yeah, it was actually rad. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, yeah.
Did you go on to like date? For real?
We dated for 2 years.
Wow. Like right away, it was like this, like right after that happened, it was like, I guess we should do this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. You're together for 2 years.
Yeah.
Is it good most of the time? What does it look like? What is the relationship like?
It was great. We're in a lot of the same art classes, and we lived.
You're holding hands in the halls?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
And
a thrill. Everybody's looking at them like, look at them. They're so cute. Does the community approve?
Community definitely approves, and the teachers especially seem to be like just weirdly like just charmed. I don't know. It was, yeah.
They were into it. They were like, those two needed to find each other.
They were like, that's really cute and funny that you guys are dating, and I like it. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to see pictures later.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going good. When does it stop going?
It stops when we graduate, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I was going to like do a gap year, just like working in Europe, like on some like Czech movies, basically.
Sure. Naturally.
And she was going to college in upstate New York, and it was one of the most just like, she had a whole plan for her life, I had a whole plan for my life, and it ended. It was sad, super sad, but there was no discussion of like, oh, I think the idea, me leaving the country for a year, which was something that I absolutely, it helped, like my gap year helped my parents financially quite a bit. It was a big part of it. It was like kind of like just a snow day for not having to sign that check for 12 months was great for them. And also I was, after all that time in LaGuardia, I really needed just something different, like really, really different. So
yeah.
But she was an ambitious person. I was an ambitious person, and we were so young. But
really wasn't really like, this is the thing, like the idea of the long distance relationship thing is not like, it's so much more common now than I think it would ever have been because of our ability to do it. And you just wonder, like, how many relationships would have come to their probably natural conclusion if it were not for our ability to very easily be in a long distance relationship, like easily with quotes, but it's like you can do a lot of stuff with this crazy phone, but it was like, I'm going to be in Europe for a year without a cell phone. And then when I come back, I'm going to be going to school at that point I was going to be going to school in Ohio, and she's going to be going to school in upstate New York. So it's like in a year we could have, and it was just, it was a clear, totally, but it was sad. It was really sad. It did feel like the Titanic or something. It's like, this is ending and our relationship goes down. You felt it coming, and it was a devastation. Like, you both knew that was going to be. Yeah, because it wasn't the natural end of the relationship. It was because of stuff that was happening between us. It was just this is such a huge life break moment, and it's the end of this relationship. Yeah. It's almost worse when there's no bad blood. Like when it's nobody's real fault, like the sadness, or like how sad it is, Yeah. There's no one to blame. There's no villain in the story. There's no sour edge to it, in that way. But I'm also like, it is weird that the two of us, it does make me think of like how serious we were as little New Yorkers, because I really do feel like the experience of going to LaGuardia was, they were just like, okay, you're instantly 27. You have a job in the city, and just now you just have to act like all the other 27-year-olds who have jobs in the city. And the way that we never even entertained the idea of like, what if we did something crazy? I think we had internalized a lot of like, your job is calling you. Do you think you wanted to be? Did you want to be, or felt like you had to be in like an adult kind of relationship, like a very serious, like committed like what do you mean by we could have done something crazy? Like do you just think you guys were very like adultified within like as a couple, like being together for as that long, or the way that you were together?
Well, it could have like not gone to college, you know, or could have like tried to do long distance relationship with like writing letters back and I mean, I don't know.
Do you think there was enough of feeling there to have carried that?
All I know is that I was so tired of being a high school student. I wanted to be anything else in the world, and I really didn't I didn't want to be a college student either. You know, I just want so it's like that. I had this gap year. I went to Prague. I like had my own apartment. I was like working on a movie crew, and I was just like,
yeah,
that was totally so calming to me at that point in my life. Just be like, no school, just a job, please. You know.
You were 13 going on 30 like me.
Yeah.
I always was ready to be done with this shit, which is funny because now I'm like in my inner child era. Now I'm having fun. Now I'm being silly goose, painting my wall green and such. It's the craziest thing you could do is paint your wall green. But no, like now I feel like I'm almost like I spent all those years trying to grow up. It's that classic thing, you know? And now I'm here and I'm like, but what if I just didn't get a job? What if I continue to not contribute to this society until it's the way that I want to, you know? But I think that's ultimately the only way for me, at least.
The more I've seen people go through it, it's like, I feel like everyone, they go through the chapters of their life, but they like, sometimes it's out of order, you know? Like if you don't have that period in your 20s, like, I feel like I definitely rushed through. There was a whole period of like ennui that everyone was like, oh, there's going to be this period of ennui in your early 20s. And I had like, so no interest in it. And I totally like just jammed as hard as I could to not have that happen in my 20s. And it was like, it's like, eventually you have to do it. You know, it's like 6 to 8 months of like, you got to have this experience. And then it's like, you're like, but I'm doing it when I'm 36. This is like,
like, I'm different. Let me be different.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've never listen. We've had a lot of things societally stacked up against us to breed mistrust, apathy, etc. It's coming at us from all sides, you know. So it's the ennui and the joy. It's all gonna come in waves, like it, and it no longer will make any sense because if it doesn't get you here, it's gonna get you tomorrow. You know.
Yeah.
You might be able to ignore it all for today, but tomorrow always approaches. Speaking of tomorrow, when you end this relationship and you go to Prague and you're like, I'm an adult, I want to do this. Like, how does that get carried with you? Like, how do you approach your relationship life in your early adulthood? And do you feel like any of it was informed by those experiences?
Yeah, I mean, I think I got into a really long relationship in college that was pretty similar, just dynamic wise.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do think it was like, I'm very comfortable and I have a lot of, cause it was a real relationship. It was cool to really not just crush alone or not just think about love alone in high school when you're that young. It was nice to have someone to share that feeling with and to like. What
are you thinking about love in high school? What do you think about it when you're sharing it? What kind of lover? What kind of lover are you? Like in the dynamic of the pair.
Just crushing hard, being crushed on, knowing that someone is like wants to hang out with you, wants to like. It was a lot of like whenever our parents were out, it's just like
your quality time is your love language.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, probably. If you've done the test.
And it was dramatic, like a lot of dramatic, like this was also like Giuliani was the mayor and there was this huge mandate of like we need to arrest as many high school kids as it was a real thing. And it was like, even like to the point where my sweet girlfriend just like had to spend the night in the tombs.
No,
I know. Like I was just saying, like dramatic high school like moments of like my girlfriend got arrested by the police with like 4 of my other friends, and they're all in a drunk tank with like adults like all night long, you know, and like her mom, me like calling her mom and being like, do you know anything about what's going on? And her mom being like, oh, I assumed that you were the ringleader of this. And then,
no way.
But then also I feel like that moment, her mom being like, her mom clocking that I wasn't like that was getting into trouble. I just said her real name.
I'll believe it. It's fine.
Was getting into trouble by herself, you know, and that she was like, and she was an edgy kid, you know, because her parents were very Christian, and
so she was rebelling all the time.
She was rebelling all the time. Yeah.
As she should.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about, as someone who's been there too, your boyfriend, girlfriend getting arrested. That's a trauma bond.
It really is.
There.
Yeah.
It's there. And just another reason we need to abolish the police. I mean, they're locking up beautiful, dynamic young women who are just trying to express themselves. Okay.
In retrospect, it was the craziest, most dangerous. Like, no matter what danger, like a 14-year-old could possibly be doing, like a group of 14-year-olds having to spend a night in a drunk tank, like, you know, is so insane to think, you know. Very bad.
But
yeah, there was the security guards at our school were like incredibly malicious, and the police. There was a thriving Washington Square Park from the movie Kids at the beginning. Of my high school, and it was totally just a police encampment. Like, do you remember the totally dead Washington Square Park? Like when they fully killed it.
I mean, I wasn't there, but I mean, I've seen Washington Square, and now this is very loud. I've seen Washington Square Park I saw Washington Square Park during COVID when it was really dead. Yeah. I could imagine it. It's not like I've seen different iterations of Washington Square Park, but I'm also just thinking surveillance state.
Totally.
You know, it's all happening. It's all happening, and it's continuing, and it's actually what you were going through was setting the stage for where we are now. And why didn't you just get rid of them? Why didn't you just go in there and just kidding. We're not talking about violence on the podcast. Nothing about the police or violence. But yeah, I mean, that was a crucial time to lead us to where we are today.
Oh yeah, it was wild. All that stuff with the cops under Giuliani was wild, and it was pretty out in the open.
So you're having so much to just be spirited against anyways, you know? So just like now you have a hot girlfriend that the pigs have locked up. It's your life is a movie. Wow. Yeah, totally. So you thrive on the drama. You should, but you've been very consistently like a long-term, like one girl kind of guy, it seems. Do you think that's a reaction from the hookup origins? You know, well, you begin with this superficial, you know, wow, we're making out, and now you're like, I want something serious. I only date someone for a year at least.
Yeah, that definitely is a trend. I have had it's longer. Like I've had 2 like 8-year, like kind of in that zone relationships. So yeah, one is definitely. I do think it's obvious and more of a natural fit in that zone than in the like public orgy zone. The
public orgy zone was just not sustainable for you as your daily life, as your kind of lifestyle.
This process is revealing that to me. Yeah.
Do you think that it's like that, because I'm interested in that idea of being seen, of feeling seen by someone. I think it's like such an intangible but like necessary thing. I think about it in relation to safety a lot too, like looking back on stuff for myself, I'm like, I think a lot of the times that situations felt like sort of unsafe or like boundaries were being crossed were like, in essence, in origin, like a problem of you're not seeing me or hearing me, in whether it's a nonverbal way or a straight up verbal way where I'm saying some shit and you just are ignoring it or whatever, and like, it's such a subtle thing, but it's sort of everything. Because if you don't see me, and like I understand that we can have different realities. I understand this as like human beings, but if you're not able to acknowledge my reality, like you don't even necessarily need to see it 100%, but to be able to acknowledge it and understand that that's true, like that just, it gets you into dicier scenarios, because then that's just where, mystery and unsafety lie is like, I'm being this person. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Do you see my responses? Do you see my reactions? And sometimes people just don't. So do you think that that's like an immediate thing that you're looking for when you find relationships, like when you find yourself in your new relationships, is that feeling of being seen? What does that feel like? How does that, like, where do you notice it? How does it make you feel safe? All of these questions.
Yeah, no, I was recently like dating again, like as a 39-year-old, really just like on the apps for the first time, and like going out on like much more formal dates than like I had previously. Yeah. And it was like at the end, it kind of part of the way through the process, like this is all like attention. Like I love the attention, and it's it's different kinds of attention, like. Yeah. Or I was just like, what am I?
You were getting good attention.
What do we even want out of any of this? And what's really sustaining and magic that's right, that when it's happening is making me feel alive. And it was like, yeah, like giving other people attention, getting the right kind of attention.
What is the right kind of attention for you? Like what, when when you're having the date, you're like, this is the right kind of attention. This is something I could see myself in.
Oh, well, I'm in a relationship right now with someone who just like, just fills me up like completely, like in a way that like on that level, like I just kind of maybe like hard to describe. I'm currently experiencing like peak out, like everything's, all the levels are blown out. Like in terms of like
spinal tap,
the person who's currently giving me attention like makes me feel like you could live in this moment forever, if you could just like pause.
So is that what it is? Yeah. Is it a presence, like a being present thing? Like what does the attention, how does it transform into you? You know what I mean?
Oh, it's like just someone's eyes, and everything. Mm-hmm. It's someone having a complete conversation with you that is layered and nuanced, and it's just with their eyes, or it's like just with the way they're holding their body in relation to the way that you're holding your body. It's like we're communicating on maybe 4 different levels all at once, and it's really fun to jump from what we're talking about to just the way we're looking at each other to the way that our bodies are mirroring or complementing each, like that,
So these are things you're noticing. Well, wait, what is that? The advice? What was the advice? I want to hear the advice your friend said. I need advice. Or is the advice to just be noticing and tapped into that? Or that's not advice. That's just what's happening.
The best advice I ever got was just the words. What you're talking about doesn't matter. Just pay attention to the way they're sitting, and just make sure that you're not walling out. Like, be also having a conversation with the way you're sitting. Also know that the way if they look at you, make sure you look at them back. Because they're
right.
People.
See, can we got to talk about this body language thing?
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about this. I'm like, I have to talk about this with someone and a man, and I should talk about this with a man, because Well, this is why I'm also like interested in the things that stand out on a date for you now, especially like in the idea of feeling seen, right? And like the things that are happening that are making you feel seen in those moments. Because I'm also like on the apps again. It's horrendous, frankly, but like I went on a date recently, like a spontaneous, they're like, oh, are you doing anything tonight? And I'm like, no, fuck it. And my thing has been out here in LA, I see people giving me the looks. See people giving me the eyes.
Yeah.
I am very good now, and I love to hold some eye contact. I used to be able to do this, and then it went away, and now it's back. Where I'm like, you're looking, I can look back.
Yeah.
Here we are, you know. But my thing is like, are you gonna do something about it? Are you gonna do something about it? Because I, in my life, have been the person to be like, boo, boo, boo. Like maybe I'll just go up to that person. Now I think men are too scared to be canceled to do that. But I'm like, also, one guy did this to me in upstate New York when I was like shooting this indie, and it was like my last day in upstate, of course. And we had been having the eye contact exchange, and then he came up and like was like, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'd love to take you out. And I was like, I was like literally shook to my bones. And I was like, I'm leaving tomorrow. And then I gave that guy my number. We never texted me, whatever. But it was a thrill for someone to be looking at you and then come over and say, hey, I just want to say I thought you were stunning. I would love to get your number and take you out. I was like, and I was a little stoned, dude. I was like, eh. That's how I know that it's possible. That's how I know that they can do it, you know? Because I've had a lot of eye contact with no follow through lately, where it's like, and I go to the bathroom and then the guy's gone. I'm like, wow, pussy,
wow,
you know?
Yeah.
So that's that. All that's to say, like, I'm very interested in someone going after it, being like, let's go, you know, like that's attractive to me right now. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll go on this date. I go on this date. We like go to a bar, whatever. And we're talking, and it's the sort of thing that he's giving some things. And this is how I know maybe I need to go back in the lab as far as my brain goes, where he's kind of giving some things, some, you know, some body language things. And looking back, because I've been thinking about it, looking back, I'm like, well, what was I giving? Was I giving those things? Not really. I would give a couple of arm, you know, taps, but that's also because I'm Cuban and I'd be touching people, like I talk like that, you know? But looking back, I think he was doing more than I was. Okay, fine. I'm not like leaning away from him, right? But I'm not like leaning super in. But then, and we're at the bar, and we're like talking, and we're talking about whatever stuff, and he's so into me. I could tell he's into me. He's like, whatever, you know. He says, basically at some point he's like, you're so hot, and then he does like surprise make out with me, like at the bar. And I'm going to say it right now. Do I think this is a cancelable offense? No, I'm not canceling this man. I don't believe in that. That's not abolition, by the way. But basically things would, because of my porous boundaries that I'm still working on, they will go further than I ever anticipated them to. I had sex with this guy. I did not really want to have sex. Like, I don't think I wanted to have sex with this guy because I kind of did it, you know? But it wasn't like, I was like, no! It was kind of like, he started making out with me at the bar. And then I was kind of like, well, I don't want to make out at the bar. And then it's like, well, let's just go back to your car. And then, but in my mind, it's like, let me go to the car because I don't want to be making out in the bar. Yeah. But I'm not necessarily, I'm kind of like, we'll see how, maybe this will be fun, right? Maybe this will be fun. Okay. I'm giving it a chance. We're making out in the car. This is the body language thing. This is why I bring this up, because it's also like, yeah, I've been reflecting on it a lot, being like, where did things go wrong here? And things went wrong, frankly, when he made out with me at the bar, because I should have just been like, whoa, I don't want to make out at the bar right now. Like we're like mid convo, and I know that you are like, wow, but this is where I'm like, I think we're both filling in the gaps for each other. Yeah. And I think when it's right, you're not. Yeah. Because he's filling in the gap for me where anything that I'm not doing, he in his desire is sort of filling in the gaps there. And for me, anything I'm not saying, I'm filling in the gaps for him, where it's like, I'm not saying I don't want to make out at the bar. I like let him make out at the bar with me for a bit, you know? And then we go to the car. And then this is a thing that I always want to talk about with men. And I would love your feedback on this. So there's a move of move the hand onto the dick, right? We've heard of this?
Oh, him moving.
We've heard of.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is common practice, it feels. As in, I've experienced it many times, and I know that many other women have experienced it. I'm not saying that means it's good or right.
This on a first hookup?
Right. Yeah.
That's.
So I think this is what happens.
It's very familiar.
I
was to say it's very familiar, right?
It's a heat of the moment thing where then, like, okay, we're making out and I'm kind of doing just enough. But what I've reflected on in my morning pages and what I want to just say on a podcast for all men to know, and I'll take this responsibility. I'll say it, is that if I want to touch your dick, and if I want to put my hand on your dick, like, I'll do it. Don't worry about it. I got you. I'll do it. I'll do it in my time. And then, yeah, it's another moment for sure for me to be like, wait, I don't want to, but then I'm already here. And, you know, and then this is the trauma that we must unpack is the way that it's so common practice to, like, and now I'm just having this hookup. And how many hookups have I just had because it felt like less effort to just do than to be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And this isn't right. And I'm saying this as accountability. I'm saying this as an our bad. I think we both did things that were not, like, totally compatible with what we weren't seeing each other. This is why I brought it up. We weren't seeing each other, or we were seeing I think he was probably seeing what he wanted to see in me. And I was just not doing anything about it, even though I knew it was wrong, you know?
It seems like he was giving you bad attention, and maybe you were, like, checking out a little bit.
It's like it wasn't even bad attention because I could tell that he was so into it. It's just like, I saw this video where it was like, do you guys have chemistry, or are you just good at telling stories and he's there? And I'm like, I think sometimes because of the person I am, like, I can fucking chop it up. Yeah. We'll chop it up. Yeah. But I think he was seeing me. And this is where he's not seeing clearly. I think he was seeing the body language that wasn't necessarily there. Where it's like, do I think you can never just surprise make out with someone at the bar? No, not so. If things are fire and popping, and then it's like, and like we were talking about, like that tension building. Yeah. Of course, that can happen. I just think that tension was building for him, and, like, not for me, but because he wanted it to be happening for me. He saw it, and because I'm smiling, and because maybe he put his arm on my like shoulder or something, and I didn't go but I didn't go either. You know. These are all things we just need to be thinking about, you know? Like, I think it's just, this is what, like, happens. And it starts with, what are we seeing? What am I communicating? What am I seeing? And I understand it takes two to tango. That's why I'm, like, totally, and to his credit, he followed up and was like, hey, you know, if you want to hang out again. And I told him, I'm trying so hard to be honest these days, because I wasn't honest in that moment, but I could at least be honest in this moment and be like, hey, I kind of didn't really want to have sex that night, and I did, and until I figure out why that happened, I think I'm gonna, like, cool it on this. And I was like, but we could see each other around, and we could be normal. And frankly, I saw him 2 or 3 days later. Talk about incestuous. Like, I've never not been in a community that I can be anonymous in, and that's what I just have to understand now. Like, I can't be, and there are people I want, the people I want to kiss, but at what cost? At what cost of incestuous community, you know?
Because you go to, like, Silver Lake College now, basically.
I'm in the I've never went to school before today, and now I'm enrolled in Silver Lake College.
But just like you're on the dorm basic, like you're saying, anyone who you're going to be crushing on is going to be around 3 weeks from now. Yeah, they're around.
They're all around, I think, and I can't blend in. So I want to assert boundaries more clearly, and that was a story on that.
Beaming in from the future, it's me, to say that I actually had a conversation with this guy. After I recorded this podcast, it occurred to me, I shouldn't just say all of this stuff kind of like on a podcast without at least also talking to him about it. Because that's kind of the point, right? If I say the stuff that I realize here, he should know about the fact that I realized it. So I reached out to him and we actually talked about it, and it went very well. I told him how I felt. I told him like the moments that I think we were, miscommunicating, the moments that like I didn't want to do, that I didn't say, and whatever. And he was like very receptive to it, and he was like that it was kind of, novel and interesting to like receive this feedback. He's never like received feedback from a hookup before. And I'm like, for sure. But all that's to say, I think I recommend it if you feel safe to do so. If you have feelings, I don't know. I'm just like, how am I going to expect anyone to grow and do better if I don't say how I feel to them, actually, if I can. So yeah, very chill, very cool. Good guy. Shout out to him. We've both learned from experiences. Imagine that. Back to the episode.
That was a story on a time I didn't feel seen, but I crave the feeling. Because I've also, that's the thing, I've also been in a friend dynamics more semi-recently-ish. That classic scenario where you're so horny for your friend, and ideally that becomes your lover in life, because what's better than to be so horny for your friend? Is that how it feels like for you? Like you're just so horny for does she feel like your best friend, or does she feel like in another category?
My current relationship?
Yes. Yeah.
Honestly, a joke in my current relationship is she'll say, "You're my best friend." And I'll say like, we're not even acquaintances. Like we're not even friends. Like, cause a thing that I really do think is great about this relationship is it started through an app. So it was just always romantic. Like,
yes, that's the
very
goal.
Beginning. I approached her because I thought I was like really into her. It was like was like astoundingly into her. And that was the energy that I brought immediately. And, so I if anyone can do it, I think it's better to start as lovers and not to transition from friends.
Agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. And I think that the desire for friends to lovers, I'm now understanding, has to do with safety. It has to do with intimacy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I want to fuck someone new. Would love that. But I've been through experiences that now also make me feel like not everyone should get access to my body, and that was part of the regret. And I was like, sometimes you're like, I'm gonna be someone one day, and not everyone should get to have sex with me. It's just true. Yeah. It's just kind of true. It's how I feel. I'm just like, it's my one body, but the implied, the hopeful like intimacy and safety that you would have with a friend for someone like me would lend itself to like, okay, to be seen and to be horny sounds great. I mean, I would love to do it it's a way less complicated when you already know that you're horny for each other. But how do you build the safety, the intimacy?
Totally. I just feel like a thing that's dangerous about falling in love with your friends is that it just kind of, all your other friends are like, oh my God, are they about to fall in love with me next? It just... I do.
For your experiences, for sure, because you had a couple. Well, I was going to say, though, it does sound like most of your crushes were people that you were like, oh my God, they're so amazing and so cool. I don't even know how I can approach this. But then it ends up happening one way or another to varying degrees of success. So how do you think that culminated in who you are now? Like, do you have that in the back of your head? Like, well, a lot of the times that I have a big crush on someone, it does kind of work out for me. So I might as well just go for it. Or do you just feel like how do you, how did you, especially with this crush that is now your relationship, like, do you just want it bad enough to just throw it out there, or what's the engine, you know?
I think that, okay, the engine with this relationship was like, the second we started like texting on an app, it was like, oh my God, this is a real, like, I've been having other conversations with strangers I'm meeting, and this is just like, this is immediately a lock. You know, we're like immediately understanding each other in a way that was just night and day. And then we were texting for, I think, like kind of a long time. We had like a pretty long, just kind of like really flirting texting for like a week or something before.
And how are you flirting? How are to bag such a baddie? How are you flirting? What's your flirting style? What have you learned throughout your years?
I think at that point, because I had not dated really until that point in my life, and then had been dating for like a year, and I think at that point I had just like stopped. Like I really was just like, this isn't about any goals, or this is really just about attention and being in the moment, and really just like, because I had like gone on dates with different people and like to various degrees of success. I was just like, the best part of it is this part, like this, where I'm just with the person, and we're just pivoting like up and down and understanding each other. So I think when that's the mindset that I was going into these interactions with, and then when I met her, it was suddenly like it was just combusted, you know.
Yeah. Damn, so sick.
Yeah.
So sick. Would love for it to happen to me. There's someone I've always had a crush on. See, this is something that is interesting, because like when you have a crush for someone for a long time, like in a way where it's like kind of distant, where it's like it's not necessarily founded on anything super real beyond the things that I know, you know, and the gaps that I'm filling in. But like, yeah, I've like had a crush on this one person that I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're single right now. And part of me was like, maybe I should just try to be slide in and flirt in and try to do the flirt game. But then the other wolf inside of me is like, just ask him out. The other wolf is like, slide in the DMs and be like, hey, no, this is crazy, but would you ever want to get a drink? Because that's so scary. But it's also like, I would love to be able to flirt in the way that gets me what I want, like you did.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm confident in that. I sometimes just like, do you want to just do this thing? Like, I don't know how to do.
I think that can be devastatingly effective, you know, just
or devastating. That's the problem.
It's a big swing.
It's such a big swing.
But it can be so refreshing. I've been on the receiving end of something like that, like a couple of times, and I do like it was.
But you're not dating them,
I am not dating them, but for other reasons, you know.
There you.
I mean, because I guess that's the thing is
there.
They kind of were a big swinger in like every way, you know. You mean. Like,
okay, so you got to just do one big swing and then take it back, take it easy.
Yeah, but I did like it was like someone just being that forward, just being like it's here, like this is we're gonna have a great date, we're gonna go, you know, like it's, and it's a similar thing of someone seeing you, imagining a whole night for you with them, and you're just kind of like, wow, that's really flattering that someone imagined
that's
that.
really nice, but I don't like you. No.
But if they like,
that's so
I
nice.
wouldn't. Where do you feel like? Are you like, where are you leaning on how to approach this?
On what to do?
Yeah.
Well, the real story that sounds like a fake story, but it is a real story, is that the other day I was thinking about it while I was doing my morning pages at my coffee shop, which I'm not going to say because don't stalk me, because people could stalk me if they knew my coffee shops. They'll know exactly where I live. And everyone's ready to stalk Rebecca. But no, I was at my coffee shop doing my morning pages, literally thinking about this and being like, I literally thought, I just wish that I could get some sort of like sign from the universe on whether or not I should just do it. And I swear to God, not 2 minutes later, this woman comes in and she's wearing a sweater that on the corner of the sweater, it says, "This is the sign you've been waiting for." I fucking kid you not. Like, what? And I told her, I was like, do people tell you about do the people like comment on your sweater a lot? And she was like, no, never. And I was like, really? Just me? Just because I told her the story, you know?
That's incredible.
So that makes me feel like I should because of a sweater told me.
Yeah.
And now I'm saying it on a podcast, which feels like now I shouldn't. No, we'll see. I'll keep you updated. I'll give you the deets after this recording. But yeah, so stay tuned to find out if I go on a date of my own making soon, because that's where I'm like, you know, where I'll have some more autonomy is when I already know I want to be there.
Yeah.
When I already am like attracted to this person, like I know that, you know. And I know that if we made out in the car, I would probably like it. I'd probably really want to do that. Anyways.
I'm pro. I'm definitely pro.
Thank you. Does your partner now feel like the final boss of all your crushes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Does she feel like yes?
An unqualified yes.
It like an amalgamation or a reaction? Like there's just like all of the elements of these previous girls in this girl, or just all roads were always leading to her.
All roads are always leading to her, and
God,
yeah, just currently speaking to you from like a head over heels, just falling deeper and deeper in love every day kind of zone. I'm so happy to catch you in this space, and I hope it rubs off on me in a way. Oh yeah, I'm
like, I love, baby.
Yeah,
I've been through it, but I'm kind of like, might fuck around and fall in love again.
I think so. I think I couldn't recommend it. Yeah, I think you're going to have a great time.
10 out of 10 for falling in love. Ray says falling in love is the best.
It's the best.
It's the bee's knees.
It's the most important
thing.
Ray,
is there anything else any like lasting lessons from these girls that you want to share before we move into crush songs? Or
lasting lessons.
Should we get musical?
Yeah, I just remember one time my crush in high school just like made me a bunch of clothes that were like so strange, and but were really fit me well, and it was kind of hard to dress in the 90s. It was like hard to find clothes.
Everyone was having an issue with their clothing.
Yeah, and like there was just like, I don't know, that's like a big swing, you know, to like make someone
that's a lot of time
handmade
and effort.
Clothes, you know, and then you know, just like.
And what the fuck did you ever make for her? No, I'm just kidding.
That's a good question. Yeah, but I don't know. That I just think like, that's if you have the impulse to do something like that, you should do it, because it was just like amazing to like open this up and be like, she thinks I'm gonna wear this, you know, and then like, and then. And then I wore it, you know? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I just like, that's great. And that's just like, I do think the thread that has run through the people that I have fallen in love with in my life is just like, they're expressive, and they like, there's like an inner life, which then becomes a part of their real life, you know? And there's this constant, their subconscious is totally alive and super surprising. And it's constantly, coming into the real world, just by every choice they make, and I find that like just intoxicating to be around and willing to like.
You need that.
Yeah. You
need that subconscious shit. He needs to get deep. It goes back down to being deep.
Well, I'm not deep, but I love. to feel.
It's that
close to the.
You don't have to be deep to appreciate. No, you're deep, obviously. If you weren't deep, these deep girls wouldn't be fucking with you. Like they believe me. I've tried to have a crush on people that were just so hot that I tried to take their silence as deep thought when really it was just stupidity. and so I'm sure. But I'm sure that they've been additive to your depth of human experience.
Yeah, just having to just share life with people that know how to, when something profound is happening that's hard to describe, they will really try to describe it to you and make sure that like it squares with your version of like being in love with them. It's like that is super exciting to me.
That's incredible. I think that you're a true artist in life and in love. And I can't wait to see what art you make next in life and in love.
Well, thanks so much. I mean, you've been the big project I'm working on right now, you've been such a huge part of and just such a huge help. So really always in gratitude to you every day I work on it. So
brother, my pleasure, my honor and my pleasure. It's so trippy to even know you. I don't even know what happened in this crazy world for me to be so lucky to share such a complicated Zoom session with you.
I know. This was really I have a podcast and I tried to get my co-host to come on. I was like, Jordan, you have to come on. And he was like,
totally
1,000,000%. He was like, I will not. I cannot open that box of. And so I appreciate yeah.
He just made it so that I'm definitely gonna, whenever someone's like the big Hollywood goal is I need to get Sean Clements from Hollywood Handbook on my podcast,
right? The best.
Because I had Hayes all those years ago when I was fucking 22 and clueless. I really blew my load early with this podcast. I had some huge guests. Guys, go back and look at those podcast episodes. Everyone that is famous now was on my podcast.
I was just saying that Meg Stalter was on there.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been in New York, I've been in Chicago, and now I'm here, and I have incredible taste. There's mad people who are famous and successful now who I've been saying it. And then one day someone's going to say that about me. They're going to say, I've known she was going to make it. But no, I mean, Sean is so like, he's like, he literally told me, he was like, yeah, Hayes is the nice one who like does the podcast and whatever. But I know Sean would be such a good egg. I'm going to get him because he seems so anti this. And that's why it would be the best, So Jordan, watch out. I'm coming for your ass.
Yeah, you got to get him.
What are you going to do? Say no? You're just going to say no to me? And I respect consent. And if he really says no, then I'll understand that no means no. But
no, that's the way I felt. It was like I'm such a fan of the show, but the idea, talking about this stuff is like, there's a part of it that makes my skin want to just like.
But part of it is a little bit of an unloading. Do you not feel a release?
The instant I started to feel uncomfortable, I was like, this is probably a thing that will make you feel better. This level of uncomfortability is usually a sign that there's something good on the other side. So I really have just super enjoyed the process, and I love the show, and just such a huge fan.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's all I could ever ask for. Do you have some songs you want to talk? Do you have some songs from your? At this point in the show, we talk about songs. We talk about some songs, and I'm gonna edit them in.
Okay.
Some songs that reminds you of this times in love.
Totally.
What you got for me?
Okay, so there's two songs I'd say. The first one is just really like I don't remember what's her name. My big girlfriend in high school. This was her favorite all-time song.
Stella.
Stella's favorite song is "Sunday Girl" by Blondie.
And then we clip in right here. Do you hear this song often in your life, and do you think of? I mean, it's not a top Blondie like.
This isn't on the radio. No, I don't hear this in in stores or anything. No, this is like sometimes they'll be on the radio, like if you're on a long drive somewhere. I think it comes on. But yeah.
Do you instantly see the image of her? Is it fully connected now?
It's just it's like a thing of like this was playing a lot when she was around. So this is just like very much puts me in the zone of like, if we're hanging out, this song is going to play, and this will kind of be the energy that she's carrying around. Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
You have another song?
It was artsy. Yeah. Okay. Other song. We were super obsessed with that band, the Magnetic Fields, in high school, and they were like, it was before they had done 69 Love Songs, so it was all their stuff was like way more like sample based, like all their music,
right?
And it just was like it was this really strange sounding music, and we would go see their like live shows, and when we were underage, the band would like sneak us into their it was totally like we had an alliance between the band and their 14-year-old fans. And so that's
you're like, we have to be in love at your show. Please sneak us in. Oh, that's beautiful.
But I would say like this is like a love song called Take Ecstasy With Me off their album Holiday.
Why is it that song over any of the other ones?
Just the rush, just the invitation to just feel the rush together. You know, the song is like, it's about taking drugs. It's saying, take drugs with me, take this hookup drug with me.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's like, let's get high and have sex is the song, you know? But it's like, it's just it just reminds me of how exciting everything felt and continues to feel.
Of it.
Yeah. It's just the rush of like, you and me, let's go to this other place, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you're like, you're talking about it, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
This is, yeah. Gotta feel these ways again.
Yeah.
You're really selling it on me right now. This is the rush of falling in love, madly in love with somebody and living life on this crazy earth.
Yeah.
Because like we said at the beginning, there must be space for death and joy and love and life and death. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. If you're not living your life to love, then what the fuck are you doing? Do it in every single way you can, in a radical way, in a small way, in a big way. This is me just trying to kind of like vibe, just kind of get everybody into this free love energy. I want everybody to be making out on the streets next time I leave. Once this podcast comes out, I want to see Molotov cocktails and making out. Okay, get into it.
It's there for you. It's waiting.
It's revolutionary love. It's happening every single day.
Yeah.
Do you feel that your love is revolutionary?
I do. Yeah, I really do.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you. Ray, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's such a blast.
This has been the most fun, and you've been so accommodating through all of our technical difficulties. And my cat.
Your cat is so cute.
He's really cute.
Yeah. But I'm just so thrilled that the show is back, and just like best wishes and just like to everything you do. Like, you're the coolest.
Thank you
know?
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over for these hoes now that I'm in LA. I'm going to be out on these streets, okay? I might be DMing random boys. You might see me on dates. If you see me on a date, don't say anything. Unless it looks like I'm not being seen and I need to get out of there and I need help. Ray, what would you like to plug today?
Oh, I'd like to plug my podcast, To the White Sea, that's about unmade Coen Brothers film. And I'd like to plug.
Amazing.
I have a cool non-speaking like background role in that movie Marty Supreme that's coming out.
Oh my God, I almost forgot. I cannot wait. Check out Marty Supreme.
You know what it's like. You were in like West Side Story and Y2K, right?
Oh, I was in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Some might say
I have a similar credit.
In random things. Okay, watch out for Ray and Marty Supreme. Timothy Chalamet is going to be the next guest on Classroom Crush.
LaGuardia. He went to LaGuardia. My God, you talk about so many.
Exactly.
This is the reason I always am like that rush of LaGuardia. I feel like he carries it with him because he went straight from LaGuardia to profestional life.
Yes.
And so I'm like, I get it. You're feeling
he's what everyone was trying to do. Was trying to be before they even knew the whisper of the word Timothée Chalamet. That's what we were all trying to do. TC. Okay.
Yeah. He's the spirit
so
of
yeah,
Laguardia.
stay tuned. He'll be on the pod. He'll be on the pod soon. Ray's gonna hook it up.
I'll hook it up. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. So we got To the White Sea. We got Marty Supreme. Anything else?
I think that's good. Yeah.
Stay tuned for all of the incredible visionary pieces of art that Ray will be creating in this earth with all
the
of
movie
love,
the movie
guys.
that Rebecca worked on with me. That's coming. But that's slower
We'll
coming.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just people are going to be like, I knew back then on Classroom Crush.
Yeah,
and,
you have this
and stay tuned to do that.
secret
Cool
mystery
guy.
feature that we both are working on.
Hell yeah. All right. Any closing words? I don't know how I'm ending this. Bye.
As the Coen brothers would say, love is good.
Love is good. The end. Bye.